Hello, and welcome back to Food with Life. I'm your host Chapatti, and the question about what is GMO and whether it is good or bad for you, we have an expert here on GMO, one of the world's most knowledgeable people about GMO. He has written two very good best-selling books on GMO. One is The Seeds of Deception, and another is Genetic Roulette. And we're very happy to welcome our guest here, Mr. Jeffrey Smith. Welcome. Very nice to have you here.
Thank you, Chapatti. Great to be here.
I have a question, which is probably what many have. What is GMO? I thought maybe could it be Gali, Mali, Ali? And I thought, no, this is silly. It must be a very important thing to discuss, because I know it is very big controversy in the world today.
Oh, yes. It's a very big controversy.
Tell me.
GMO stands for genetically modified organism.
What is this?
Well, you know genes are part of the DNA.
Yes.
Well, with genetically modified organisms, you can take genes from one species, like bacteria or viruses, and force it into the DNA of another organism, like soybean plant or a corn plant. And that way you move traits between species. For example, they actually took a gene from a spider and put it into a goat in the hopes that they could milk the goat to get spiderweb protein to make bulletproof vests.
Very interesting. What more? It seems like, I know I've read about the controversy, the people who are for GMO, they think it is the answer to the world starvation hunger problem, because they can make many more crops and there's much more to produce. And then the people who are not for GMO say there is very much food to go around. There's just problems with the politics and distribution of food, and they say it is not safe. Can you tell me something about it here?
Well, the biotech industry is very powerful, and they've spent hundreds of millions of dollars trying to convince people that genetically modified foods are the answer to feeding a hungry world. However, the current generation of genetically modified foods actually reduce yield on average. They don't increase yield. And moreover, they are not safe. The process is fraught with unpredicted side effects and consequences. You see, the process of creating a GMO, you take a gene from one species, make millions of copies, and typically put it into a gene gun, and then shoot that gun into a plate of plant cells, and then clone those cells into a plant, and now every one of the cells of the plant has the inserted gene. Now the process of insertion and cloning creates massive collateral damage, which can do all sorts of unpredicted harm. It can
What is this massive collateral damage? What is this?
Well, it means, like, instead of just simply putting in a single gene carefully where you want it, that up to 5% of the DNA of the plant is now different, mutated, scrambled, changed. Up to 5% of the existing natural genes in the plant are functioning faster or slower, producing more proteins or less proteins, or completely new proteins. And that means that no matter what you insert, whether you're turning a flavor into a plant, like turning rice so it tastes like pizza, or whether you're putting vitamin A into apples or whatever, no matter what you insert, there's many things that can go wrong, and often do go wrong, as a result of this rather primitive process.
Now, there must be some very good studies to show the effects of the GMO. I know there's a group of environmental medicine doctors that have studied it quite a bit. So what is their view of it, and how can you compare and say their view is probably more accurate than the people who are for the GMO?
There's a group called the American Academy of Environmental Medicine.
Yes.
They're on the front edge of trying to figure out what are the new problems that people are facing and what are the new causes that create those problems. So they were the organization that first identified Gulf War syndrome, food allergies, chemical sensitivity, etc. And in 2009, they released a paper saying that every physician in America should prescribe a non-GMO diet to every person in America. They said that animal feeding studies have linked GMOs to fertility problems, to immune system problems, to organ damage, gastrointestinal problems, accelerated aging, dysfunctional regulation of cholesterol and insulin. And they said there should be an immediate moratorium on GMOs. That means stopping the production, removing it from circulation, and only once it's been proven to be healthy, then introduce it with proper labeling.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Smith. Now, don't go away. I have Mr. Smith. He's going to give us another opportunity for you to get more knowledge and wisdom on GMO foods and what they can do for you or not do for you. Stay with us. We'll be right back. You'll be here, won't you? This is Food with Light